hello, hi, what's up? Hello, hello, ADHD gang! For today's video, can I get the camera to sit up? We got it. For today's video, we're gonna kind of talk. We're gonna chat. I want to talk about consumerism and kind of buying things and talk a little bit more into the kind of like low. Oh, we've just fallen over the low buy concept. And I also want to show you what I've been working on. So let's get into this video. Hopefully you guys like this video. Yeah, let's just get into it. I also got my mic's working, so let's get into it. Okay, you guys, my microphones are charged. The microphones are charged. Also, in some news, I must have gotten very, very lucky. There's a game that I play called Palia. A lot of my friends that I play with, we all play together. It's coming out with a new update, the Elderwoods update, next Tuesday. And my work, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't usually get a day off because I'm only working weekdays and not weekends because I go out and I do drum corps and stuff like that. I have Monday off. I have the Monday off. This coming Monday off before the Elderwoods update. I have this coming Monday off to prepare for the Elderwoods update. I've been preparing, but I have this Monday off to go in and do friend requests, do other quests, get most of my weeklies done before I go into Elderwoods. So excited. But that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. I want to show you some of the things that I've been working on. I'm in the process right now of doing socks. I have found and dove into Ravelry and their free patterns. I don't know why. When I first started knitting, that I thought I'd look on Etsy and I would buy patterns. I love the patterns that I have. That tank top pattern, it's super nice. It's kind of super easy. I like the rolled edge. I'm definitely gonna try it again. I know my mistakes. Um, and then the sock pattern that I got honestly isn't bad. It's not bad at all. And once I get more deep into other things, I can try the other ones out of there. But this is a free pattern. I'm using not the right needle size because I always be free willing. I found out that free willing for the yarn type on socks is not it, so I did thrift a brown. This was like $1, mainly because I'm trying to stay on to a low buy year. A lot of you guys know that. I'm trying to not buy as much. I may be spending a lot of money. It's gonna probably be a high spend year, but I'm trying not to overconsume and buy a lot of things. So there's that. Also, if you haven't seen and you haven't checked out my reel that I posted at the beginning of this month as a kind of I'm sorry guys, I am busy with work and I can't get out a video for Whip Wednesday. I've been trying to post Whip Wednesdays more consistently. I post them on my TikTok, onto here, and then between my art Instagram and my fashion Instagram, link in the description of my link tree. But this was the recent child. It wasn't supposed to look like this. So what ended up kind of happening is there were 4 straps, and it was supposed to kind of come around with the double shoulder strap. But me and a double shoulder strap, just we aren't best friends. I'm not best friends with that kind of a tote bag. I'm more best friends with a crossbody. So I ended up changing it and making it a crossbody, and I love this thing. If you haven't seen the video on how I made this thing, go check it out. As for other projects, I have like a craft kind of DIY project that I'm doing downstairs, but I touched it once and I haven't touched it again. So I need to work on that. I want to get back into some more art type things too, so maybe later tonight I'll get some stuff done. But I'm gonna cut. I'll come back in a minute or so and we'll kind of dive into low buy and consumerism and stuff like that. Let's get into the deep stuff. Okay. Overconsumption. Not the greatest thing, not I don't want to say not the worst thing, but it is pretty bad. One of kind of the main issues, and I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, and I think that this is very important, is haul culture. There are so many people going around, and I have done it. Like, I've shown, like, oh, here's my. I usually do like my Goodwill haul. Like, here's my thrifters haul. Here's my garage sale haul. You know what I mean? Like, I'll post it, I'll show it, and stuff like that. And that's kind of triggered certain groups. There's now groups of people who are addicted to just going to like thrift stores, garage sales, antique stores, whatever, and buying more amounts, like a mass amount of items, and now you can buy it for cheaper. And then that kind of leads into, well, why don't I just buy it off of Shein or Temu or AliExpress, whatever, and that's also really not good either. So here are some tips and tricks that I'm gonna kind of recommend to you guys. So haul culture is very dangerous. I'm in the haul culture right now. I can't get out of it. I'm trying. So where people are showing off like their craft hauls for craft supplies and like yarn hauls, like look at all this yarn that I just got, and I am on I've probably talked about it before, this app called Whatnot, and I have kind of set myself a mental limit to where I have certain projects in mind, and I'm only going to be shopping for those certain projects and buying what I need, maybe a little bit more than what I need because I won't know specifically how much yarn I'm going to need and just have a little bit of extra. I can deal with that. But instead of going and like, because I see all this pretty yarn, I see all these pretty things that people are selling, and to stop myself has been hard. So the first kind of tip is do not buy something that does not work for right now. I have been a victim. When I was a kid, I was a very big victim of buying things, like wanting to buy heels, and back when I wore this stuff, like heels, dresses, skirts, I would want to buy all this pretty stuff and all of this fancier kind of stuff because, like, oh, for when I need to go to a wedding, for when I need to do this, for when, not for now, for when. So that's kind of the main thing. If you're going around shopping, really think to yourself, is this gonna fit me right now, or do I want to just buy this and hang it up and be like, oh, when I finally fit into a size 0 jeans, like that's gonna be the goal. But yeah, like if you get what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of people kind of talk about overconsumption and stuff like that, and there are tons of great videos out there like explaining stuff like that and explaining the trends. But nobody really like kind of talks about the remedies. So that's like the first tip, is to buy for the now. Buy things that you know you're going to wear, and don't just buy something because, oh, it's a basic, I can make it work for everything. Like, buy it because you know and you have something in your head that's gonna work out for it. And it's the same with like anything, classifies, clothes, even food. Do not go out and say buy tomatoes because, oh, I just want them around to have for sandwiches. Like, you can do that, but like keep in moderation. Like, they're not gonna last forever and ever. So unless like you don't really have like the plans, or like I don't really have the time this week to make a lot of lunches, so I need to make them ahead of time. So a sandwich is something quick and easy. So I would put tomatoes on the list because I like tomatoes on my sandwich and I know that it's gonna get used. If you get what I'm saying. Um I would say kind of tip to kind of stay out of haul culture is watch who you are following and the people you are following, and watch what you are swiping on, liking, commenting, sharing. Because social media is social media is a big algorithm that is built off of things that you have liked in the past and before, and things that you currently do like. So, one of the main things, speaking specifically for TikTok, for other apps, I don't know specifics, but I know for TikTok, you can like press and hold the video. I'm pretty sure this is how this works. You press and hold the video, and then you tap not interested. I do that sometimes, whether it is somebody who's does not align with me. Sometimes I'll get the videos of like the lemonade or whatever, where it's the super like skinny, super tiny girls are like, here's how you get the perfect body for summer. And I will get out of that to get that out of my head and to stay clear and in the right mindset for me personally. If that's something that you aspire, you want to get into, sure, but we all have different goals. So that's like my like second biggest tip is to click not interested or to simply just swipe up. Don't watch a video for more than 3 seconds. If you're watching a video for more than like 3 seconds, it could potentially tag that video and flag it and see, okay, they were slightly interested in something like this, but maybe not fully. So let's show them related content to see if something else like strikes their mind. So do that. Also watch like what you're searching up to, because everything that you search up will come back to you. And yeah. I'm gonna come back with tip number 3 so that I'm not just rambling for hours on end, because I want this to be a short video for you guys. Okay. So tip number 1 was to buy stuff for the now. Tip number 2 was to scroll away, click not interested, to kind of clear it from your feed. Hello? Are we here? Okay. And then tip number 4, I would say, is see if it is cheaper. I'm not cheap. I'm not like cheaper, but see if there is a better way to get something. So in the sense, what I'm kind of talking about is, say you use, we'll go with Garnier Fructis because that's the shampoo and conditioner that I was using. I no longer use them. I no longer support plastic bottles anymore. I try to work past that. I'm trying to become more of an environmentalist and kind of help the planet as much as I can. So let's say you use Garnier Fructis and you were done with that bottle. It wasn't really doing much for your hair. Like, it made your hair nice, but it wasn't doing much for it. It wasn't doing the most. It wasn't doing what it could be. And you're looking into another option. Look for something that is better. So, whether that would be kind of looking towards maybe getting bars or getting something else, or kind of like looking at it that way, like where are you getting your product from? So if you're looking and you're like, oh, my plain black tank top has a hole, and you immediately go to Shein, to Temu, to, we'll say Rue 21. I don't think they're still in business anymore. Forever 21. Like, if you're going to these kind of fast fashion brands and stuff like that, and then you're just buying another tank top, it's not really doing any good. And you're still kind of biting the bullet into that kind of consumerism mindset where you're buying whatever's cheapest. You're buying the cheapest item, or maybe you're buying the most expensive item. Maybe it's a Louis Vuitton tank top that they are overcharging and overpricing you for, and still not really paying the people who are making that a lot of money. So that's like kind of tip number 4, is like to kind of get out of like overconsumption and to stop seeing these overconsumption hauls. Go other places. If you keep going to these fast fashion brands and these big box stores and places like that, and you're not shopping as much like local thrift stores, little mom and pop shops, like places like Etsy and other kind of little websites, even Facebook Marketplace, you could do whatnot. Depop, if you're not like shopping those independent sellers and those tiny, smaller businesses and mom and pop shops, then you're kind of like biting into consumerism and you're saying, hey, Rue 21, I really like your tank top, and you go and buy it, and then they're like, oh, well, this tank top's really been selling out, and then they go and produce more, which is kind of not helping with the situation. And the more that you're kind of buying from those places, then they'll sign you up when. Here's another thing, too. We're going to get off on a little tangent, but here's another thing, too. When you go somewhere and they ask you for your phone number or for your email, if it is not a like good reputable place, I'd say like, I mean, Walmart's not bad, Target's not bad, but they're not like good either. Target's probably a little bit better than Walmart because Target now carries Blue Land, one of the best cleaning supplies ever. I really do hope that I can get my hands on some in the future. I really want to make that swap. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, when you go to some place, we'll go with Route 21 again. You go into Route 21 and they ask you for your phone number or your email. When they send you that email for your rewards, it's not just them. So certain places, and my work does this too. I'm pretty sure my work does this too. At certain places, when you give them your email, you are not just giving them your email. You're giving them the okay and the rights for them to sell your email off to other companies for them to make money and profit off of, so that other companies can then send you more emails. So if you shopped in Route 21 and you're wondering why Aerie, American Eagle, Victoria's Secret, why all these other brands that are right around you are also sending you emails and how they got your email, it's because your email was sold off. Fun fact, fun tip. So that's kind of the whole thing about like over consumerism, is you shop at these places and then they're seeing that they're starting to do well, and then that starts to kind of show in stocks, in profits, in their money and stuff like that, that we can easily kind of look at and see and stuff like that. And then other people are kind of seeing so many people like me, like you, like Joe down the street walk in and out of Route 21, and they're like, oh my gosh, it must be popular. They must have something really good in there. And then when people go and they do things like I do all the time, which is like outfit of the day, showing off your outfit, showing off different things, or even just you taking a picture in that black tank top that you got from Route 21, there is bound to be someone who is going to see that and try to Google Lens it, Google search it. Someone's going to ask a question. It's going to make its way around to other people. and people are going to like it because of the way it looks on you, and then they will be influenced to buy it. Now, obviously, if you are buying something secondhand and it does come from Route 21, you can't really help that. But buying it secondhand is definitely more sustainable and stuff like that. Yeah, that's tip number 4. And then I want to briefly talk a little bit more about this kind of low buy year that I'm going on. I'm going to talk about like the purchases that I've made and expenditures that I've kind of been making. And then we'll kind of end out this video. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so this video is like very mismatched. I started talking about a little bit about low buy and then started getting into like the kind of negative side effects of like haul culture and how it's telling brands that they can just keep producing all these cheap things and not paying people, and then it's a whole cycle, and then all the carbon emissions and all of the bad things happening in the world. But we're gonna get back into low buy. So I don't have figures, I don't have numbers. I'm not gonna be like every other creator that you're gonna see who's doing a low spend, low buy year and stuff like that, who have all their expenses laid out, because I live at home with my parents and I don't have that many expenses. But my big kind of main expense for this year has been yarn. There have been a few instances, most of the yarn that I've kind of been purchasing so far, except for these 2 purple skeins, and then I would say this brown kind of skein of yarn too. Those were for specific projects, but everything else that I've kind of been buying has not been for a specific project, but I have kind of just been buying them, 1, because they're pretty, and 2, because I had the free money and the free credit. When you sign up for Whatnot through like a friend's link and stuff like that, you can earn like $10 to $200 credit. Typically, it's always going to be $15 credit, but they just preface that and they say that, but it's always going to be free $15 credit. The credit. Oh, hold on. Okay, the credit does not go towards shipping, and taxes and stuff like that. It just goes on like what you paid for. But the max shipping is $10. It's like 9 something, and that is the max shipping for Whatnot all across the board, no matter what it is. So technically I was using that free credit, but then I was also spending my own cash on the shipping and stuff like that. So that was my main purchase. I would say my second highest purchase, I would say, would be drinks. Specifically Starbucks. I've bought Starbucks about 2 or 3 times now within this year. Also matcha as well. Starbucks and matcha have been my second most consistent kind of purchase. I did have Starbucks cards that I just finished and used up this week. The week that I'm filming this. They had free cold foam week, so I swapped it up. Did a little bit of strawberry cold foam on my matcha, and I figured I would just use up the cards just to get it kind of done and out of the way, because I know I probably ain't gonna get nowhere to use it up anyways. And then I would say, probably, if we're going based off my most expensive purchase is about $500 to $1,000 a month, not out of my own personal money. I'm doing my low buy year out of like my cash and my personal money, but like I'm really, the most money that I'm spending is coming out of the money I make for work, and that's about $500 to $1,000 for college to pay off student loans. So I know I'm at least making that. That's probably the most expensive, but out of like cash. And then I'm also paying for drum corps, which is like 100-ish, 200 a month, something. But my most expensive purchase, and I do not regret it. It is my favorite thing. I do not know if I'm going to be rebuying it just yet because I don't have the funds right now to rebuy it, and I also want to look at my other options, kind of like scope out and see competitors, see what else there is on the like eco-friendly sustainability wise. That's going to be my Earthling Co's package that I got their shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and then it came with a bag and then the tray. That was like $70 out of my budget that I kind of had. I really kind of needed another bar soap, and the bar soap that I was using has been discontinued. It was like the Degree bar, and it had like the, like, I don't want to say muscle relaxers, but it had the little bubbles on top. I don't know. It's I don't know what it's called. Um I'm trying to think. I saw a video a while ago from Shelby. Um she's a really great environmentalist from Texas. Is doing all the most. I love everything that her and her girlfriend are doing down there. She's really like taking this whole environmentalist kind of sustainability life by its reins, and that's what I hope to do one day. Um but there's a thing where like a certain minority is buying it and that's all that's buying it, so then it just slowly dies out. I don't know what that word is. If I figure out what that word is, I may put it like up here somewhere. But yeah, Earthling Co is probably my most expensive purchase. I also want to, like I said, I want to get into Blue Land and Wild, which is going to be a whole nother big ordeal as well. I also did spend a lot of money at the beginning of the year as well on Amazon. I made kind of a big Amazon haul, a big Amazon purchase because I kind of needed some things. I desperately really needed boning, and then I needed workout bands. And then everything else that I kind of ended up buying was like free purchases. I did have a gift card. So I spent a little bit of cash over the gift card. Um but yeah, a lot of the stuff that I did buy went towards just like my separate fund. So I have a category essentially where I see how much I've kind of been spending on necessities, which is going to be matcha, shampoo and conditioner, body wash. Once I get deodorant, like my spray cleaners, anything kind of like personal care and household wise is going to be a necessity, and then everything else is going to be a non-necessity unless it is for a specific project. Now I have found uses for almost all of the yarn that I do currently have. Right now I have kind of some projects in the works for all of those, so that's kind of cleared that up. But there was a few things that I kind of bought like in my hobbies category, and that's going to be, I bought that metal pitcher for when I am melting my wax. I did end up buying more wax. I don't think what else I bought. And then I bought a matcha set as well because I was tired of frothing my matcha and I wanted to see what the whisk was like. And I used the whisk, but honestly, if I wouldn't have gotten that matcha set at all, I probably would have been just fine. But and then also I think in that purchase too, yeah, I did buy matcha because then I ran out and then had to go up to Target and then found out that Target's bag is smaller than it is on Amazon, and it's I think it's cheaper at Target, but it's a lesser bag, and for a little bit more it's a bigger bag on Amazon. But yeah, that kind of like wraps up Oh, nope. I also did end up, out of necessity, also, now that I think about it, buying dirt. I needed dirt for houseplants and future houseplants that I'm getting. I also do need to find some bigger pots as well, and maybe some trellis hole type things that I will figure out at some point, maybe over the summer. And then, yeah, I got just like outdoor garden dirt as well. Um, this was kind of a talky, rambly video. I don't usually sit and yap this much. Usually, we're actually like getting stuff done, and I was gonna do a getting stuff done video, but and then I had realized that I didn't have content to film for that. So I was like, let me just like sit and chat. I'll show you guys what projects I was working on, what I've kind of been doing, where I've been, and stuff like that. And then I talked a little bit about overconsumption, haul culture, gave you guys some tips. Yeah, and then I talked about my low buy year. So let's get into an outro. Okay, guys. This was a very ranty style video. I talked about a lot of different things. I showed you guys my projects, kind of told you what's going on, what's happening. I'm working more. I'm doing drum corps. I'm also writing choreo still, and kind of doing lessons and other kind of type things. And yeah, now I'm working also twice as hard to find extra time to work on personal stuff like weapon and stuff like that for color guard, because right now I'm currently just spinning a flagline spot for drum corps, which that's a whole nother kind of story to get into. But this year at drum corps has probably been one of my favorite, has been my second favorite. My favorite was when I did full-time drum corps. Full-time drum corps is always going to be my favorite. But this is probably going to be my favorite year. I really like everything that's kind of happening. I like a lot of the work that's going on, and a lot of the things that's going on, and a lot of our new members that have joining are going to be some of my besties, are going to be some of my favorite people in the world. Um but I really hope you guys like this video. If you guys want to see more kind of ranty videos, if you want me to just yap about a certain topic, let me know. I do know that the next video, hopefully, also don't mind, that's fallen down and I haven't put it back up because at some point someone's gonna come in and redo my bedroom, and these walls aren't gonna be hot pink and partially gray anymore, and I don't want to have to get a new command strip to put that back up when it's just gonna have to come back down anyways. So it's just gonna be down. If you see it down in any of my posts and any of my TikToks, just don't mention it. Don't mention it. Things are rough over here. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Link in the description is going to be my link tree. That's going to be all of my social medias except for my TikTok, but you can go to my Instagram, and all of my any reel that I've ever posted is going to come from TikTok. Same with the reels that I'm posting to here as well. Make sure you are liking my reels on here as well. I'm trying to post a whip Wednesday every Wednesday that I can. I'm going to post you an update of whatever I'm working on. I'm going to try to be more proactive, so you will see more from me other than just these videos. And comment down below. Let me know what you want to see, because the next video is going to be another styling video. I'm going to take some pieces kind of from my closet. I have like 3 or 4 flannels. I think I might just take those and see how I can kind of style them a bit better, because I can wear these kind of sweatpant type clothes to work now, and I am so excited. I'm so excited that I don't have to wear jeans to work. So excited. And everything else that I own, I can essentially just wear to work. And I am so excited, so thrilled about that, because I absolutely hate jeans. with a burning passion. But yeah, I really hope you guys liked this video, and goodbye.